Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank Suomen Toivo and her president, Chairwoman Tauru Tujunen, because I think that the organization we are already seeing is going very well. We already knew that coming to Helsinki will always go well, but I want to appreciate that dedication also to the Center of European Studies and to the staff that are now making this work. I never speak too much about my staff, but today I have to do it in Helsinki. The director of our foundation, you have to know that President of the European People's Party, Wilfried Martens, members of the board of the foundation, and myself, we are very proud that for 5 years, since the very beginning, since it was constructed, this foundation has been directed by a Finnish, that you hear him before speaking, a very humble person that has done a great job, a great inspiration for many people in this think tank world to start from zero this foundation of our political family. It was not easy. So thank you, Tomi Hutanen. You have done, I think, good work for all of us, and I hope it will continue for a long time. And of course, I have also to say thank you for his hospitality and patronage to my good friend and Prime Minister of Finland, Jyrki Katainen. As Tomi said it, the topic of this year's forum is From Reform to Growth, a roadmap for Europe. We chose this title because we are convinced that it is the combination of budgetary and structural reforms that will create the conditions in which lasting growth is possible. And only lasting growth will lead to more and better jobs for Europeans. And to hold a conference with this in mind, I could not imagine a better place than here in Finland. This country successfully reformed itself after an economic crisis 20 years ago. And today it is a prime example, for many of us, of good economic governance. Both more Europe and more national responsibility, these are the words spoken by Prime Minister Katainen when addressing us, members of the European Parliament, in plenary session back in April. I remember very well. To the populistic voices claiming that Europe cannot find common solutions, I simply say that is not true. To the populist voices saying that European institutions are a threat to their countries, I say, quoting Prime Minister Katainen, that strong rules and strong European institutions are the protectors of the member states, especially the smaller ones. Prime Minister Katainen already showed his talent and resolve as finance minister and has continued on this successful path as the leader of one of the countries that have best handled the financial and economic crisis in Europe. Finland has set a brilliant standard on how to organize an economy, how to structure a modern education system, how to manage a knowledge-based economy, and we especially admire your forward-looking approach to economic policy. You have not been afraid to use the opportunities offered by globalization, and today we need that kind of spirit of hope and open-mindedness in Europe. Dear friends, I want to use this opportunity to emphasize the idea of cooperation between different member states. At DPP, we have always felt that the European Union is much more than partnership. The EU is a community. This community brings together countries of different size, economic power and wealth, and different cultures. But the aim is to find and strengthen the things that we have in common and to value the richness and opportunities of our diversity. At the European People's Party, we believe in the power of individuals and the importance of union and solidarity. We believe that the European community exists and adds value to people's lives. It is an antidote to both egoism and populism. This is why, when citizens and states show initiative to cope with difficult times, this European community should show its solidarity. The strong have to help those who are weakened, and the weakened have to make an effort to get back to dynamic growth. This means reaching a careful balance. We must give our members the freedom to follow their own paths to success while maintaining a common goal and vision. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't believe in the artificial growth defended by other parties. We profoundly disagree with their proposals to create unsustainable short-term growth by increasing public spending and refusing to present credible measures for fiscal consolidation. This is an irresponsible and populist approach which will lead us to deeper into the crisis. I want to make a small mention of my own country, Spain. It has been 2 tough years. Reforms were unpopular and often misunderstood, but we have been patient. We held the course and economic fundamentals are starting to paint a better picture. Unemployment has decreased for 3 months in a row. Inflation has been kept under control, and the competitiveness of our sporting companies has increased non-stop. I believe we can feel prudently encouraged, and all my colleagues in the DPP, Prime Ministers, Finance Ministers have shown their admiration and encouragement for our efforts and reforms. And I want to especially thank Prime Minister Katainen also for his guidance to our government and to many of us in Spain. I think that his comments, his views, his opinions have helped us a lot through these difficult times. Maintaining social cohesion is a priority, but we must achieve this in a responsible, sustainable way. I emphasize the word sustainable, because this is where we differ most from the socialists. We know that growth is not something that a government or the European Union can decree. Growth is created by people, by entrepreneurs, and consumers who act in a stable and predictable framework. To create this framework, market confidence in politics has to be restored, and that means fiscal consolidation and economic reform. In the long run, it means a stronger economic and political union. Dear friends, there is no silver bullet for resolving the current crisis. Its causes are complex, and the solutions cannot be simple. That is why we need conferences like this Economic Ideas Forum. And it is now my pleasure to give the floor to the Prime Minister of Finland, Jyrki Katainen, one of those leaders who we can honestly say that he has made a difference for the better in his country in this European Union. Thank you very much. Yours is the floor.